Hello. This video is called Rebuilding After Falling Apart and Why I'm Not Hiding It. I've recently had another serious destabilization that led me to be in the hospital for the last 2 months. And this isn't the first time something like this has happened. I've been dealing with mental health issues related to my military service since 2008. And at that time, secrecy was on the top of my list. I would not talk about it to absolutely anyone, let alone even acknowledging that things were happening within me to myself. And it wasn't until 2016 that I had my first major destabilization leading to hospitalization for mental health, in which I call a hard reset. Hard resets are things that happen in your life that cause you to either find a new direction or a new pace, sometimes even both. But you're going along in life on a certain trajectory at a certain pace, and then a life event happens to stop that dead in its tracks. So since 2008, I've been learning, well, since 2016, really, I've been learning to open up when these hard resets come about, or even in the time leading up to these hard resets. It's helped me a lot. I'm at the point now where I'm able to speak about these things after they happen publicly and share it on YouTube and Instagram and potentially other social medias in the future. It's important to know that these hard resets that happen to us aren't our story. They're environmental. What our story is, who we are, is what we do after the hard reset. That's the rebuild. And that's the space that I'm currently working in and talking about. I'm not here to share my traumas. I'm not here to process them either. What I am here to do is share what I've learned and what has worked well for me and what I've seen work well for others after the fact, when you're ready to do that rebuilding. Sometimes these hard resets are a matter of life testing what structure you have. And while I was in the hospital, I had serious moments of thinking, who am I to be starting a coaching program? Who am I to be talking about stability and rebuilding when I've just fallen on my face in a major way, figuratively speaking? And what I came up with for an answer is that just because I have stability doesn't mean I'm going to be stable in that same spot forever. As life goes on, there's going to be new challenges, and they're going to challenge that stability, that stable place. And it's up to me and my ability to find stability, to adapt and strengthen in the places that I'm weak. And that's exactly what happened this time around. It's a similar cycle that I find myself in, and a pattern that I can see in others as well, in high performers especially, which is this pressure, push, and crash. And sometimes it's really just left me on my butt. And other times I fall into my knees and really just wondered, why is this happening to me? And like I said, what I've learned in this most recent period is that these hard resets that happen test us and they show us where there's still work to be done. For me, there was work to be done on pacing. I'd taken on too much pressure and I was trying to push through it all. And my system said no. And then I had my crash. And this is something that I've identified recently that I'm working on building a resilient program for. But obviously, there's still work on myself to be done. And again, this channel is not the polished product. I'm not here to be an example of the perfect, stable person or the perfect person that can rebuild anything. I'm here to honestly show the process in that rebuilding. And that's where the liminal framework starts. It starts in that in between place. When you're ready, it's not quite the world that you came from or the life that you had. And it's not quite the life that you will be leading. It's that in between place. And it's building that framework to get to that next point in your chapter. So this can be for people that have gone through a divorce, through addiction, through relapse, through any major life altering event. Again, mental health crisis. On the other end of that, what do you do? Where do you go? When you've been in the hospital for 2 months, where's your next step? And this is what I'll be answering moving forward. No, right now I'm at the Canadian National Track and Field Championships in Ottawa. And I'm reflecting on the places that I've grown because years ago, I wouldn't be caught dead in a public place like this. My system just wouldn't be able to handle it. But I've done my rebuilding in those places. And now I can operate, still using military lingo. Now I can exist and enjoy this type of environment and this type of occasion and celebrate in my brother-in-law running the 100 and 200 meter races here. It also helps me reflect on my own childhood and my own records that I've held when I used to run track and fields. Just a couple days ago, I was finding it hard to even get out of bed, wondering why, what's the point? And I think it's important when we find ourselves in those moments of hopelessness, laying in bed, not wanting to do anything, or laying on the couch, not wanting to engage with the world, to take those small steps and prove to ourselves that we are rebuilding, that we are moving forward, even if we don't feel like it. Because those small steps, they add up. And eventually, your attitude will change. I guarantee you this. If you keep doing the little things, that's how you find yourself in your new life. But you have to build and build and build. And it is hard. It's easy. Or rather, it's simple. It's not easy. Not always easy. So thank you for joining me. like and subscribe to this channel. Feel free to comment or share, and that will not only help you, but potentially help someone else who's trying to find this channel, who needs to hear this message and messages that I send in the future. To all of you, thank you and be well.